When did you first start wondering what the meaning of life really is? When we were kids, those storybooks, filled with warmth, heartbreak, happy endings, and harsh truths, shaped our earliest curiosity about the world and the future. Why did the story have to end this way? What does happiness really mean? And why did my favorite character have to die? What kind of adults will we become when we grow up and face this sometimes cold world of adults? We return to these wonderful children as stories, as treatingly to realize how much they guided and inspired us, even shaping our worldviews and values. Where do we go after we die? What kind of adult will I grow up to be? Kenji Miyazawa was born in a rural part of northeastern Japan. His hometown, Hanamaki Town in Iwate Prefecture, was quite underdeveloped, suffered from frequent tsunamis and other hardships. Fortunately, his father, Masajiro Miyazawa, ran a pawn shop and a second-hand clothing store, so the family was much better off than the farmers nearby. As the eldest son, young Kenji often helped out and learned about the family business. Due to the constant threat of natural disasters, the local farmers often had to pawn their family's belongings to make ends meet when their harvests failed. So from a very young age, Kenji Miyazawa witnessed the hardships and sorrows of human life. So he always felt a deep sympathy for the farmers, right from his childhood. In NSTTet, Kenji Miyazawa began attending Morioka Middle School, same school that had produced Japan's famous poet, Takuboku Ishikawa. During this time, he developed a deep interest in philosophy, poetry, and Tonka verse, and began writing poems of his own. Due to the frequent earthquakes and tsunamis in his hometown, the farmers lived a life of great hardship. While at university, under the guidance of Professor Taro, Kenji Miyazawa conducted geological research. His thesis focused on agricultural topics, like the value of inorganic components in weathered soil for plants. During this time, he never stopped his literary work, writing stories such as The Spider, The Crab, and The Raccoon and Twin Stars. None of these were published at the time, though. He would just tell these stories to his younger brothers and sisters from time to time. Later, he graduated successfully from his university and became a graduate research student. However, during a military conscription physical, he was diagnosed with pleurisy. That year, he told his best friend Yoshimoto that he probably only had about 15 years left to live. As a person, Kenji Miyazawa was remarkably pure, so pure that his ultimate ideal was to benefit all of humanity, even if it meant sacrificing himself. Yet he felt a deep sense of shame about his family's business. Just imagine. His hometown was an area prone to frequent earthquakes. The farmers nearby often faced crop failure. And it was only when they were truly desperate, with no other way to survive, that they would bring their few valuable belongings to his family's pawn shop. As the eldest son, Kenji Miyazawa was expected to take over the family business, but he was deeply opposed to their line of work, and so he refused. Due to their clashing ideals, he had many arguments with his family. His relationship with his father slowly grew distant. Nobody could understand these pure ideals of his, except for his sister, Toshi. But his sister Toshi passed away at just 22. School teaches us knowledge, and society teaches us how to work. But as life reaches its final stages, facing old age, sickness, and death, it's a pretty bleak topic, and hardly anyone ever teaches us how to face it. The truth is, education about death is largely absent and overlooked. Death is a part of life, and we shouldn't treat it like something to be feared. Even though they're young, it's good for children to be exposed to thoughtful lessons about life through books, like how we come into this world, or where we go after it ends. It can really open their minds. Perhaps because he was sickly as a child and often witnessed human suffering amid disasters in his hometown, and later experienced the loss of loved ones and his own frequent illnesses. Trasa children as author. Kenji Miyazawa never avoided the subject of death. He described it in a uniquely personal way, almost like depicting a dream. In his work, Night on the Galactic Railroad, he wrote that after death, one boards a train traveling along the Milky Way. Outside lies a body of water, so clear it has more brilliant than glass, more transparent than hydrogen. At times, it shimmers with tiny violet ripples visible to the eye, glowing like a rainbow with a captivating light, flowing silently in the stillness. Further out, every now and then, all sorts of hazy, shapeless forms would burst forth like fireworks. Deep in the beautiful violet sky, the clear, transparent wind carried the rich scent of roses. Death felt like stepping into a dream. In Kenji Miyazawa's writing, death is like a new journey within life itself. During his time as a teacher, Kenji Miyazawa would give lessons to the children. He wrote many fairy tales and adapted them into plays. Many of Kenji Miyazawa's fairy tales were written during this period. In the early years of the Showa era, Japan began shifting away from democracy and openness, gradually turning toward militarism. Every school had its so-called ideological censorship. Plays by Kenji Miyazawa, with their anti-war themes, were called the children of farmers. So they too could become well-educated, principled, and outstanding young people. Working day and night without rest, Kenji Miyazawa pushed himself too hard. His health, which was never strong to begin with, finally gave out, and he became seriously ill. But even as he battled serious illness, Kenji Miyazawa never forgot his mission. That was to help more people in poverty live better and better lives. Even while battling serious illness, Kenji Miyazawa never stopped helping the local farmers. He was always there to answer the farmers' questions about agriculture. Even while seriously ill, he wrote poetry that would later become widely known and loved. That night, after returning home, Kenji Miyazawa began coughing up blood, and it wouldn't stop. The next morning, he was already fading fast. His final wish to his father was to donate all his money to buy books and give them to the local farmers. Finally, surrounded by his family, Kenji Miyazawa slowly closed his eyes, ending his rich and remarkable 37 years of life. Tanger says we must take our cues from animals that are scarier than we are. But are there really no creatures besides brutal beasts that can teach us how to live? The story of Kenji Miyazawa makes me think of Leifing and the phrase, "Serve the people." Saying, "serve the people" in daily life might sound a bit formal, serious, even official. But to serve the people is to serve yourself. Every single action we take in human society comes right back to us. Though most of us can't give of ourselves quite as selflessly as Kenji Miyazawa did,